Jeremiah chapter 1. Jeremiah chapter 1. I'll start reading in verse 4. Jeremiah chapter 1. Verse 4. If you can, would you stand for the reading of God's word? Jeremiah chapter 1, starting at verse 4, and it reads, "The word of God came to me. I chose you before I formed you in the womb. I set you apart before you were born. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. But I protested, oh no, Lord God, look, I don't know how to speak, since I'm only a youth. Then the Lord said to me, do not say I'm only a youth, for you will go to everyone I send you to, and speak whatever I tell you. Don't be afraid of anyone, for I will be with you to deliver you. This is the Lord's declaration. Then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth and told me, I have now filled your mouth with my words. See, I have appointed you today over nations and kingdoms to uproot and tear down, to destroy and demolish, to build and plant." And God has blessed you through the reading, hearing, and doing of his word. Let us pray. God, I thank you for a chance to minister to your people today. And God, I pray now that as you anoint me, God, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be accepted in thy sight. Oh Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Amen. You may be seated. The only reason I want to be respectful of Aunt Sean, because I know she doesn't like a lot of attention. But Aunt Sean, if I wasn't respectful, I would have you sing like you do in the morning, because that is my favorite song. But I know it's an emotional day, and we understand. But it's amazing the impact that you can have, even when you don't think you have an impact, of the little things that Aunt Sean is so positive. I know her and Aunt Gail be going at it. You didn't go at it, but she don't go at anybody else except for her sister. She loves us and goes at it with her sister. But I remember when she first came to new members class and how she talked about her and Gail's relationship, and to see them sitting next to each other is a miracle. For real. Oh, I know. And no need to have any particulars, but to understand that God is good. And he does believe in healing, and he does believe in doing things well, and he also believes in us. And we kind of talked this morning about, at one point we talked about we live in an instantaneous society. And one thing about being in an instantaneous society I thought about is work ethic is not celebrated or learned. If you see kids when they struggle, they usually fall apart now instead of having some stamina to try to learn something or go through it. And as I listen testify about building the wall and when you're down and never not believe. Haters are real, y'all.
Yes, Lord.
If you don't know, I hate that she had to come to that reality, but it is a reality that haters are real. But if you think about Nehemiah, because I remember the character Sanballat, he's one of the haters, big time. And so, but what I like about the story is they built the wall faster than it was supposed to be built. So sometimes God's timing is not our timing. We just have to do exactly what he's called us to do. I don't even know what I'm crying about, y'all. I don't think I'm sad. I don't know what's up. But I think I picked this text. Last week I talked about what God expected. And what God expected of the children of Israel. He had planted a garden. He had made all the provisions for them, and they still kind of jacked it up. And so sometimes we need to be reminded of who God is in our life and what he's called us to do. Let me say that again, because I didn't get it. Not now. Amen. In the text, God says, before you were formed in the womb, I knew you.
Yes. Yeah.
I knew you. We can know people, but we can know people.
Right. Right.
So knowing somebody, you may have a fleeting experience or some knowledge about. We can Google somebody and know something about them, right?
Right.
But in the text, there's a more of an intimate connection. Before you were formed in the womb, I knew you. And I, at that particular time, ordained you to be a prophet. So not only did he know him, but he'd already ordained something to happen. And I believe that God has known every one of us in this room before we were conceived.
Right.
He knew us, and I believe he had something for us to do because we were created. I believe we were created to worship and praise God.
Amen.
And that is something in us being created. There was a longing for connection with God that was placed on the inside of us.
Right.
And because of that, I think there was a mission or there was a destiny that was placed on us by God to be fulfilled. So he knew exactly what we were going to be or what he intended for us to be. But because we're free will agents, we have a choice.
Right.
We can be obedient or we can be disobedient. We can do basically what we want to do, but there will be some consequences.
Right.
And so in this text, Jeremiah is talking about how God knew him before he was born. He had already ordained him to be a prophet. So what are you trying to say? We need to be reminded sometimes because situations.
Right.
You know, when Miss Netta texted me about Ruby, and I was in the car with Mari, I said, man, Ruby in the hospital. Mari said, Dad, what's going on with the church? Everybody getting sick. What's going on?
Right.
And I was thinking, well, when you're doing something for God, when you're on a positive track, when you're trying to tear down Satan's kingdom,
Right.
things are going to happen to try to knock us off our square.
Right.
People get sick, people's cars break down. We got a whole lot of things that can happen that can keep us not focused and keep us off balance, and we can lose sight of who we are.
Right.
And we're quick. I never saw people so quick to throw their destiny in the garbage. Why do we throw our destiny in the garbage? Because of some haters or some trouble or some trials. Those are the things that come to make us strong.
Yes.
Jeremiah immediately comes up, and y'all know the text. Him and Moses got the same kind of excuse. Moses said he couldn't speak eloquently. Jeremiah says, I'm too young. We might say, we too old. Or we don't have this. We didn't grow up in the church. We don't have enough money. We don't have this, that. Y'all know how we try to we fill the blank in to keep us from doing what we're supposed to do.
Right.
I have to focus. And I'm not even going to preach long. I don't think. Because this text, we know Christ is with us, right?
Amen.
Are you sure you know he's with you?
Yes.
I have to be clear that you all know that Christ is with you. Because if he's with us, is that going to make our job easier or harder?
Easier.
Well, it's relative how you look at it. I would say this. I would not want to go into any type of situation without him on my side. So with him on my side, I don't care how emotionally hard it is or how it tests me, it's going to be easier with him than without him. Because you will learn how to depend not on you, but on him.
Yes.
And trusting him. You said a key word of it, trusting, because I believe God wants me to focus on verse 10. And it says, see, I have appointed you today over nations and kingdoms to uproot and tear down. Let's stop right there. What does it mean to any gardeners in the house? People work in the yard? You ever had to uproot something? Depending on the type of plant it is. Some things you can just pull and the whole root just come up everything.
Right.
Other things take a little more work. Take some digging. Take some elbow grease, and it takes the right type of utensil.
Right.
The right kind of spade, the right kind of whatever. You get something to chop it, because some of those roots are hard.
Yes.
I am appointing you to uproot some things. God said there's people here today that need to uproot some stuff in your life.
My God.
Gee, that's an easy message. That's a duh situation. It is a duh situation, because as we grow with Christ, there's some things we have to get out. We got to prune. But how many of y'all know some of this stuff we don't want to uproot?
You're right.
We don't want to uproot, number one, because it's too hard to uproot it, because some of this stuff we like. Nobody ever said sin didn't feel good. Anybody ever said that? I'm sorry, man. You got to get these kind of sermons, man. I'm sorry, you got to get that stuff, man. Y'all looking at me like y'all crazy. Y'all gonna tell me sin doesn't feel good? If you look at, so really, you're looking at me. If you stood where I stood and looked at people's faces, people looking like, what you talking about? I didn't say we need to practice sin. I'm saying it feels good, and if something feels good to a fleshly person, and we are flesh first,
That's right.
it feels good. But how many of your flesh kind of blinds you to the consequences thereafter?
Right. It does. You're right.
I ain't blind, I know what I'm doing. I'm making a nice, thought out, well thought out situation. I ordained you, whatever you needed to be, whatever God has called you to be, before you were formed in your belly, in your mama's belly. I ordained you. I sanctified you. Some of your printmates say, I set you apart for a purpose. Yes. And I set you apart. And in order to do, Jeremiah was supposed to help. He's a pre-exile prophet. So before Nehemiah, Jeremiah is talking to the people so they don't have to be in that situation. Be obedient, follow the Mosaic covenant, follow my law, that you may have a good life, and I can bless you. No, we're not going to follow that. We're going to do what we want to do. So now we got to go to exile. But he was trying to tell them, this is what's going to happen if you do this. But they didn't listen. I'm telling you today, if you don't uproot what's going on in your life, you're going to suffer some type of exile.
That's right.
Exile can look a whole lot of different ways.
Right.
When you're exiled, you're pulled out of a familiar place and put in a foreign land. It could be you lose your job. It could be. I'm not saying that. I don't know what God's going to do. But you can avoid that if you do some uprooting.
Right.
We just said it's easier to do it with Him. God is calling us to do some stuff that pulls us out of our comfort zone. How many like being out of the comfort zone? Nobody. Right? Especially when it comes to uprooting. Because some of y'all got to uproot some friends.
Jesus. Preach it, Pastor.
That's for real.
Yes.
And what's sad, some of y'all know y'all want to, but you're scared to. Oh, but I hate to preach these kind of sermons. On your last day, Sean, I give you something to take back to Georgia with you. Uproot. Get it out. Y'all remember Achan? If you don't remember Achan, they was trying to fight the battle at Ai with Joshua, the children of Israel. They wanted to wipe them out. But they couldn't because they had sin in the camp. So then they had to go find out where it was. And it was Achan. So Achan, not only, because he's trying to bury stuff under, trying to keep stuff. Not only did he get wiped out, but his whole family got wiped. He had to wipe it all out. Had to uproot it. Get out. That's what you got to do. I'm physically role modeling and showing you what you got to do.
Yes, yes. Thank you, God.
Throw it out. Get it out. I know I'm telling the truth. And I would like to say, so you go to McDonald's and get you a regular sandwich or a regular meal, or you can supersize, right? Y'all can supersize. This is not a regular meal. This is a supersized request to root it out. That means there's ultimate importance. There's detriment
Thank you,
that's
God.
waiting around the corner.
Thank you, God.
Okay? You can listen to it, you can take it for whatever you, but I tell you what you can't say, that you didn't hear it. So, we got to talk, man. So, when we had to put your name in the bulletin, because you didn't uproot on August 25th, and the consequence happens on October 15th, because you didn't do what you need to do on August 25th,
Yes.
we're not going to say, I told you so, okay? We're not going to say that.
No.
But we are going to say, listen next time,
That's it.
and follow instructions, because I believe God gives us warnings
Yes, He does.
before destruction. I know this text is about Jeremiah and his calling and what he made excuses about. But as I went down and I started to study and start to think about him talking to the children of Israel, I said, you need to talk to your church about what they need to do so it doesn't happen to them.
Yes.
But it's more than just uproot and tear down. It's destroy and demolish. Back in Eagle Park, where my grandma and grandpa lived, they used to say you can take the trash out. I used to like to take the trash out. You know why? When you take the trash out at grandma's house, you get to burn it. You get to light fire to it. Oh, y'all people talking.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if I had a thing for fire, but I did like burning the trash, and I like watching the trash burn.
All right.
So, not only are you got to uproot some things, you can uproot and put it to the side. How many of y'all know there's some trees that you can throw their roots somewhere else and they can take them, they can start growing again? Y'all don't
Yes. You better talk about it.
The text says you got to destroy and demolish it. That means you got to do what I did with the trash. You got to burn it. You got to destroy it.
Hallelujah. Thank you, God.
What did God tell Saul to do? I usually don't do all this scripture jumping around. He told Saul, destroy him.
Yeah.
What Saul do? I'm going to keep these things. That's what he said. Am I telling the truth?
Yes. Yes.
And those are the same people that popped up and came at the children of Israel because he wasn't obedient. He didn't destroy and demolish it. Now you got a thorn in your side because you didn't listen.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Uproot it and then you destroy and demolish it. Amen. If you destroy and demolish something, it can't come back. Wow.
Thank you, Jesus.
Psychologically, when we do work with people and we tell people to cut stuff out of their life, they say never tell somebody to cut something out without giving them something to replace it with. Right?
Right.
I believe God worked with us that way. Me stopping not being able to play basketball was a very emotional, psychological thing for me. I discounted it. I didn't know how much that would affect me not to be able to do that. But he's given me something else in the place of it. Because that's something I thought I couldn't live without. Hello, somebody.
Right.
That was something I thought I couldn't live without. Yeah, I know that's on a natural level. Oh, you ain't talking about nothing about basketball. But we got some stuff that we don't think we can live without. Just causing us detriment.
Yes. Yes.
But God said, not only are you destroying the life, but then he said, you are going to build and plant. So he doesn't leave us desolate.
Right.
He gives us something else to build and plant. Building and planting takes time.
Right.
No insta-grow in living for Christ. Can't put the magic seeds on it. You're not jacking the beanstalk, you can throw it out and the vine grows to heaven in one night. No. There's some cultivating, there's some hoeing, there's some chopping, there's some weeding that happens along with building. There's some lifting of the bricks. There's some laying down of the mortar to put this stuff together. God says, I need my posts to be built, and I need them to be strong.
Yes.
Root it out. Destroy it, demolish it. Then you build it back up. Appropriately.
Right.
Don't cut corners.
Yes.
We some cutting corner folks. Right?
Yes.
Well, I think I'm going to use this cheaper material. 3 pigs. Hay, straw, brick.
Right.
Hate to give y'all a simple nursery rhyme to teach a biblical lesson. You don't want your spiritual house to be made out of straw. You don't want your spiritual house to be made out of sticks.
That's right.
Because the big bad Satan will come and blow your house down.
Yes.
Some of y'all, he don't even cock back and blow.
Jesus.
You got to blow hard. You're way better. We don't need that.
Lord, help us.
We are in control of that.
Yes.
See, Jeremiah was looking at their faces. Some of y'all got to tell some folks something. And you scared. But he's saying, I'm going to tell you what to say.
That's right.
And you need to do it.
That's right.
Some of y'all don't like the language that Christ uses. Crystal, I ain't going to say what I had to say. Crystal called me out this morning in her prayer time. You know what she asked me? What is God telling you about me? Y'all get a watered down version. I've been talking about it, y'all. Not talking good. Talking about her. And I was talking to Pastor A, so Pastor A knows exactly what I said. And Pastor A, I told her I whole conversation.
Hallelujah.
She came to church this morning, though.
Yes, she did.
What I do?
She gave me a hug. I said, God, for real, I gotta tell her? Tell her!
Yes.
You just said last week you didn't tell Anissa what she needed to hear. You didn't tell Donnie what he needed to hear. Now Crystal's coming at you and asking and you're not gonna tell her? Tell her. Tell her what you said about her.
That's good.
Okay? Did I tell you?
You did.
Thank you, God.
And I'm grateful.
Yes.
But how can I preach that if I don't live it?
That's right. That's right.
You shouldn't be up here trying to tell somebody to do stuff that you're not willing to do.
There you go. I'm talking good. Yes.
Demolish it, destroy it, then build it back up. There it is. See, that's the purpose of Jeremiah's call. And unfortunately for Jeremiah, the folks didn't listen. He preached for 40 years and they never did what he told them to do. But guess what? He didn't stop. We can't either. It's about tenacity. It's about follow through. It's about sustainability. It's about trusting God to do it. Because Crystal really could have said, okay, peace, G. But she didn't. So that's maturity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And something,
Yes.
it is only because I was in my time.
Hello.
Lord, he told me ask him, ask him what he said. I didn't know. And he told me, and what he said was exactly what I needed to hear. So I did. It wasn't perceived as a negative. It is going to help me continue to grow.
There you go, baby. Yes, yes. Yes. Hallelujah. Hey, God, thank you.
I said, you're trying to stretch me already. But I was willing to be stretched. And now I'll be able to see the fruit of that. She'll be able to see the fruit. It's more important than she sees. And God will be glorified.
That's right. That's right.
Now,
That's right.
I got past my first look. Way bigger than this, way bigger than that. What are you going to do? As God has ordained you before you was in your mama's womb, for you to do some things that you keep ignoring and won't move stuff out the way. I like what Anissa said, and I'm going to be done. It's people that look like me. What I heard her say, it's people that should have my back. It's people that should be my cheerleader. It's people that should be glad for me are the main ones trying to pull me down.
Yes, yes.
I do not want to be a church full of haters.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Am I mad that Anissa said pastor or her favorite pastor? Can I tell you how that makes me feel good?
Yeah.
And she may not understand what we talk about at the table.
Right.
We're all one. I don't care who y'all like. Man, who cares? But if I had an ego that needed to be stroked, and I had to be the best preacher and the best teacher and all that, it would kill me. Because it's not going to happen. Realistically,
Right.
Realistically, people gonna like who they like, and you have to give people freedom. I'm glad she was free enough to stand up and say it, and I still love her to death. I'd do anything for her.
That's right. That's right.
But we get caught up in little stuff like that. It mess up the whole system.
Yeah. You're right.
You should be happy that folks like people that's under you.
Amen.
And that person is doing something to be called a favorite.
You're right.
I love Pastor Orson. People are just coming to see me. Yes. That's what needs to happen.
That's right.
That's how you know a church is healthy.
Hallelujah.
That's a small sprinkle. That's a microcosm of what it should be. Right. But Kate can say the kids like Sean and Gail, ethnic rolls and chicken wings. Let them do it. They do it well. Let them do it. Why are you going to try to compete with somebody that you can't beat? I just said she can't beat them like that. See? I know what that means. Right? Uprooted. If it's sensitivity, uprooted. Taking stuff personal, uprooted. Run it up. You got to worry about that. We all on the same team. Hey, y'all make me look good. I tell my pastor friend, I said, I got people around my church is way smarter than me. Whole lot of them. I said, I'm glad too, because that just make me look good.
Yes.
And I'm smart enough to see it and know it.
Amen.
And to give y'all props for how great y'all are. Because how great y'all are make us great.
That's right. That's right.
And we're destined to be a great church. We already that.
Yes.
Impact. You want to make impact, and you got to uproot stuff. Yesterday, 2 things happened yesterday, and I'm done. I'm on the Zion's Men's Fellowship text. They had a garage sale yesterday, and it was time to clean up. Y'all know how clean up go. Everybody disappear on clean up. That don't happen here. It happened to them yesterday. And the leader was like, where are all the men at? He texted. You know, he texted in big letters. You got to hear all these excuses. And I'm at home watching the Raiders and the Packers, sitting back eating some chicken wings, chilling. I said, let me go help. Let me go to Zion and help. Y'all, I moved so many boxes yesterday, I was drenched.
Wow.
But they was like, a pastor came and helped. He don't even go to our church. He did more work than our men did. What kind of man, you know, the women, that's a great man. They don't make men like that. You know, they whisper. I didn't do that. I didn't do that for that though. Who cares? I did it because it needed to be done. And they needed some help and I could help. Because of that attitude, I think God was glorified.
Yes, it was. Yes.
And I said, this is not the stuff that's going to be on TV. But this is that grunt work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the kind of, and we got to be willing to work. I was in Walmart and a lady came up to me yesterday and she was just staring at me. She was like, I never forget a face. I said, do you remember me? No. My name is Rashida. Okay. She asked me where I worked. Did I ever work at a group home? Yeah. For girls? Yes. She said, you treated me like I was your daughter.
Wow.
You were like a father to me. She said, you got in my stuff when I was messing up. Y'all know she messing up. She said, I got at her. She said, I appreciate what you did for me. Thank you. I say that because of that very thing. You don't know the seeds that you drop in people's life doing God's work and exemplifying his character. When we have stuff that we don't uproot or we don't get rid of and all these things that hinder us, it stops us from doing the little things that make mega impressions on who God is. Not who we are, but who God is through us.
Yes. Yes.
And for that girl to remember that, I must have done something that really impacted her. All these years, she said, long, long, long time ago. But she still remembers. Yeah. And that's the kind of impact that we want to have when we do what we need to do. Satan can't stop us. We're unstoppable.
Right.
There's a character in Marvel Comics called Juggernaut. You can't stop Juggernaut. He runs through everything. He's too powerful. We are a spiritual juggernaut when we get our stuff together.
Yeah.
Job situations, people, all that stuff, it can't touch us because we have unlimited power to do what he's called us to do. Let's pray. Gracious Father, thank you for a chance to talk to your people. God, I thank you for all your blessings. And as we look at the call of Jeremiah and his life, as you instruct us and empower us to uproot and to destroy and to demolish, but to plant and to build. I ask you to give us supernatural wisdom that you help us follow your directions. And God, I pray for Unshine as she goes to Georgia, that she takes your love and your grace and all the things that she's brought to Proverbs, and she takes that to the next church that she attends, that you will give her the ability to be impactful just like she was here. Again, traveling mercies that you just blessed the whole situation with selling the house. And you do all the things that she needs. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. Let's stand.